Welcome to the online lecture series of Jyothi Engineering College. Myself, Ragendu PS, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering. Today, we are going to see a small topic from Civil Engineering Project Management, which is a subject of S8 Civil Engineering. So let us see what is safety management. So safety is one of the vital issues in the success of a project. With the advancement in construction technology, the need for proper attention to safety aspects has become essential for human, economic and other considerations. So you, as a civil engineering project management, is your responsibility to ensure the safety in the construction field. So let us see what are the different aspects of safety. Safety is important in construction industry due to these four aspects. The first one is humanitarian concern, second one economic concern, third one law and regulation, and the fourth one is organizational image. So let us see all these aspects one by one. The first one is humanitarian concern. When accidents happens, it results in suffering of injured workers and their family. So this is the humanitarian concern. As a human, we have to look after the feelings of our workers and also their family also. So this comes under the humanitarian concern. And the second one is the economic concern. So under economic concern, we have two aspects, that is direct cost as well as indirect cost. So direct cost and indirect cost incurred in the accidents are, we have to differentiate between these two. So the direct cost incurred are the medical care expenses for injuries, workman's compensation cost, insurance premium increases, replacement cost of materials and equipments, fees for legal counsel, etc. And the indirect cost means if an accident occurs in the site, it will result in the slowdowning of the operation and it results in decrease in the moral value of workers because one of their co-workers are suffering and it will decrease the moral value of the co-workers. Then loss in the productive time. Once an accident happens, the work will be suddenly stopped and all the workers will be discussing about this accident and also some will be going after this accident and then other precautionary measures etc. will lead to loss of productive time. Then administrative work associated with the accidents, that is if an accident occurs in a work site, it should be properly reported and there will be a case behind that. So we have to follow a lot of paperwork behind that and also we have to give them proper compensation etc. Then overtime required by the work slowdown, because if the work is delayed by one day, then we have to find another day for the completion of this work. This results in overtime. So that is the next one, overtime required by work slowdown. So all these comes under the indirect cost. And the third one is law and regulation. So law and regulation, we all know that if an accident occurs in the work site, we have to report it to the police and there will be a case behind that. So as per different acts and laws, the employer should look after the safety of the employee. So it is the responsibility of the owner to look after the safety of the workers. Any violation of this law will be punished. And the fourth one is organizational image. Once the outside world comes to know that there is an accident occurring in the site, then everyone will think that so there is some type of safety problems in that industry and this will result in the decline in the organizational image. So a good safety record can produce high moral value and productivity. This will also increase the company's public image. Okay. So these are the importance of safety. So let's move on to slide. So next is the safety measures. So we should know that what all safety measures should be adopted in the construction field so that we can prevent the accidents in the field. So broadly speaking, we are having five different aspects requiring safety measures. So there are to be, these are the five different activities requiring safety measures. So the first one is excavation, second one scaffolding, ladder and formwork, third one fabrication and erection, fourth one demolition, and the fifth one is storage. So the first one is safety in excavation. So how will we ensure the safety in excavation? In order to ensure the safety in excavation, an experienced supervisor should look after the excavation work. And also, before going to the excavation, a complete knowledge of the underground structures should be available within the workers. That is, underground structures means any sewers, pipelines and other underground structures passing below the soil should be known. Proper safety helmet should be worn by the persons entering the trench. While excavating, we will be entering a trench, so that the workers should ensure that they are wearing a safety helmet before entering the trenches. Then the excavated material. The excavated material should be kept away from the edge of the trench. Otherwise, there is chance of falling down the excavated material over the worker and resulting in accidents. So we should ensure that there is proper lead from the trench and the deposited material. And the next one is safe deposit of excavated material. That is, we have to deposit the, we have already told that the excavated material should be deposited away from the trench. Then comes the sheathing. That is, we are excavating a trench and there might be some chance of falling down the sides of the slopes. So this should be avoided by providing proper sheets on the side of the trench. Then positioning of the heavy equipments. Heavy equipment such as drag line, JCBs, etc. should be placed away from the excavated site. Otherwise, there is chance that already the ground is disturbed, and there is, if the heavy equipments are placed near the trench, there is chance of sliding of the soil on the nearby areas. So that should be avoided. Then once we are excavating a trench, that should be kept away from the public, and we should place proper fences, barricades, etc. to avoid the accidents by falling people into the trench. That is, all places where the public is likely to trespass, we have to place proper fences and barricades to avoid the accidents. So these are the concerns in safety in excavation. So next is safety measures for scaffolding, ladder and formwork. So first of all, we have to ensure the stability of scaffolding. Every scaffold should be securely supported and properly braced to ensure the stability. The next one is all scaffolds and working platforms should be securely fastened with the building. That is, all the scaffolds and working platforms should be fastened to the building so that building is a permanent structure and the scaffolding will not fall apart of this building as a whole. So we should avoid that possibility also. So and the next one is, if scaffolds are used for long duration, then regular stairway should be made. That is, if the scaffolding is going to be used for a longer duration and lot of workers are going to use the scaffolding, then it should be made like a regular stairway by providing a width so that two people can pass the stairway at the same time. Okay. Then ladders employed should not exceed a length of 6 meters. So if we are providing ladders, then the length of the ladder should not exceed 6 meters. So necessary precautions should be taken while dismantling the scaffolding also. When work is being performed above the scaffold platform, a protective overhead covering should be provided for the men working in the scaffolding. And also, we have to ensure that the proper dismantling of scaffolding is necessary. And we should take the necessary precautions to prevent the injury of the workers due to fall of the loose materials and other parts of the scaffold. Then comes the proper care of electrical wires. We have to care about the electric wires existing within the 3 meters of the working platform. All the operators and supervisors should be thoroughly trained about this. Entry of any unauthorized person should not be allowed into the field, and also they should not be allowed to operate the equipments. Then comes the safety in fabrication as well as erection. So while fabricating, we will be using different types of equipments like gas cutting equipments, welding equipments, drills, etc. So all these equipments should be periodically checked. And also the moving part of these equipments should be provided with a safety guard. The workers engaging in such types of works like welding, cutting, etc. should ensure that they are wearing a mask as well as safety gloves to ensure their personal safety. Then the cut pieces and also the scrap portions should not be kept here and there in the building. They should be kept in appropriate places, otherwise there is chances of people getting hurt with these cut pieces and scrap. The power cables of all the equipments should be properly insulated and protected from damage, and also the lifting tools as well as erecting equipment should be checked thoroughly before they are put into use. This is very much important because if any equipments get damaged in between the work, it will result in huge accidents, because while lifting and all, if it is half lifted to a certain depth and the instrument get damaged, there is every chance that the lifted material that may be very much heavy or some large equipments, and there is chance for this to be fallen down immediately, resulting in huge accidents. So we should ensure that all lifting tools should be checked thoroughly before erection. The workers engaged in erection work should wear helmets, safety belts, etc. All erecting equipments like hoist, crane, etc. should be thoroughly checked before use. Then comes the safety measures adopted in demolition. We already know that demolition is also as important as construction. So we have recently seen in Ernakulam that the demolition of different buildings, and also how much work and effort is put into the demolition work also. So while demolition, we have to ensure that no other buildings nearby and also no other people in the nearby premises get injured due to this demolition. So before demolishing a building, we should put a danger sign around the structure that is going to be demolished. During night time, red light should be provided around the barricades, and entry of unauthorized persons into the building should be restricted. At the time of demolition work, workers should use all safety equipments like helmets, goggles, gloves, etc. In case of any anticipated danger, the nearby structures should be evacuated, and also proper safety guidelines should be given to them. Then the electrical supply to the building and also to the nearby places should be avoided during the demolition work before the demolition is getting started. Commonly we will be starting the demolition work at night. This is to avoid huge crowd and all, and also we can prevent the disturbances to the surrounding areas if we are doing the work at night. So that is why we are doing the demolition work at night. Then comes the safety in the storage. So safety in storage means, here we are discussing about the safety in storage of three equipments, that is timber, petroleum as well as explosive. So timber means it includes sleepers, runners, etc. used in the construction field, and in order to store this properly, we can stack it in bundles, and we have to keep proper distance between each stacks so that we are having adequate ventilation and the chances of fire is prevented. And also timber should be stored at an elevated area so that we can safeguard the timber from water and all. So then comes the petroleum products. So petroleum products are highly risky to be stored in a construction field, and also only essential quantity should be stored. We should not store those petroleum products in bulk quantity, because if anything happens, there is chance of huge fire to be generated. So we will store it only in minimum quantity required in the construction. And also if we are storing any petroleum products, we should ensure that there is proper fire fighting equipments available at a minimum access. Then storing of explosives. So explosive must be stored in proper places with adequate care, and we have to ensure their safety while storing as well as handling these explosives. So hope everyone has understood about the importance of safety in different processes. Thank you.